So identifying your dream customer or creating an ICA really helps you get super specific in your marketing because you know who you're talking to. To keep this simple, think of it like this. Your target market is your whole garden. Your target audience is one flower bed within your garden. Your ideal customer is your favorite flower. Welcome to Hey Beautiful Creative, the podcast designed to inspire and empower creative entrepreneurs just like you. Whether you're a full-time artist or crafter, a side hustler, or someone dreaming of starting your own creative business, this show is your new best friend, here to support and encourage you on your journey in creative entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Tori Nguyen. With over 2 decades of experience selling my handmade goods online, to boutiques, and at markets, I've been where you are and I'm here to help you grow. My best friend and I also own 2 retail stores and organize large craft markets, which gives me a unique perspective on combining creativity with effective business strategies from both sides of the table. Each week, we'll dive into practical business and marketing tips, inspiring artist interviews, and the motivation you need to take your creative dreams and make them your reality. Whether you're looking to boost your confidence, refine your business skills, or take actionable steps toward your goals, this podcast will leave you energized and ready to chase your dreams. Hey, beautiful creative! Welcome to this week's show. I'm so happy you're here and I really appreciate your time. We spent the first few episodes talking about mindset and things that would be helpful in getting your business started or taking that next step or getting past some of the things that are holding you back. And now I'm excited to shift and kind of get into the business side of things. Do you ever feel like you're posting and promoting your work, but no one's really paying attention? Especially online. Feels like you're shouting into the void, hoping someone will buy what you're making. If that resonates with you, today we're going to change that. We're looking at how to find your ideal customers. Who are they? Where do they shop? Why do they buy? And why will they buy from you? You might be wondering why it's important to know who your ideal customer is. I will tell you, I studied business in college and I concentrated in marketing. And I have to admit that I find marketing both really fascinating and at times a little bit gross. Nobody wants to feel like they're being manipulated or they're being sold to so that somebody else can make tons of money, right? I think for a lot of artists, sometimes the marketing piece can feel a bit yucky. If this is you, let's try reframing it in this way. You want to sell what you've created. This enables you to pay your bills, to live the life you want, and to keep creating. Your ideal customer is looking for cool things to buy. They're excited to support you. It makes them happy to have unique works of art in their home. That transaction leaves them feeling good and inspired and fulfilled. So part of your job as the working artist is to find these people and to connect with them. For me, the key to marketing in a way that feels in alignment with my values and doesn't feel gross is creating genuine connections with people. My goal is to connect, help them feel seen, and solve a problem for them. And I can't do this if I don't know who I'm trying to connect with. Knowing who your product is for and who you want to buy it will shape all of the branding and marketing decisions that you make moving forward. You're going to tailor your branding and your marketing to these people. It's not about you and what you like, it's about them and what they like. I have to remind myself of that from time to time. And that's why we're talking about this now, early on in the podcast season, so that we can build upon it in the future episodes when we talk about building a solid brand and selling your work. It's going to be a lot easier to do those things once we know who we're selling the work to. Remember that when you market to everyone, you attract no one. The more specific you can get about who's buying your work or who you want to be buying your work and why, the easier it'll be to make lasting connections with the right people. If you're just starting out in business, you might be thinking, but Tori, I don't even have customers yet. That's okay. I have some ways that you can narrow in on who it is that you want to buy your products. Remember, we're talking about ideal customers, so if you haven't had any actual customers yet, that's totally okay. If you have been in business for a while and you haven't looked at identifying your ideal customer, or you haven't really revisited it in a while, this is a great episode for you too. Let's start with some vocabulary just to define some key terms used in marketing. This is pretty basic, and I don't want to overwhelm you with jargon, but I do want to mention them because you'll come across them from time to time, and it helps paint the broader picture of who you're marketing your products to. The first term is target market. This is a broad group of people that your business is built for. Think of it like a big umbrella. In determining your target market, you use identifiers like age, gender, income level, geographic location, lifestyle, and interests or values. An example of that could be women aged 25 to 45 with an annual income of $65,000 to $125,000 who value handmade jewelry and shop at local boutiques and markets. Under the target market umbrella, we have a target audience. This is a specific segment of people within your target market that you're trying to reach with a certain message, a certain promotion, or a specific post. It's a group of people that you're talking to in that moment, and it can shift depending on which of your products you're marketing. An example of the target audience could be local women who follow small brands on Instagram and are looking for unique, personalized jewelry for holiday gifts. And remember that they're still under the umbrella of your target market, so it's a smaller group of people who fit under the umbrella, but maybe not everybody who's under the umbrella fits in this smaller group. And then getting even more narrow, we have your ideal customer. This is the person who loves what you do, who comes back for more and tells all their friends about you. They're your super fan. You could even create an ideal customer avatar, which is also called an ICA. An ICA is where you create a fictitious person who represents your dream customer. You give them a name and you describe them as if they were an actual person. For example, meet Amy. She's a 36-year-old fitness instructor who loves supporting small businesses. She wears dainty gold jewelry with personal meaning, follows you on Instagram, and always stops by your booth at markets. She's thoughtful with her purchases and wants to feel connected to the maker. And you can get lots more specific than that and add even more details about how she dresses, where she shops, some of her other hobbies, etc. But I wanted to give a general example to get you going. So identifying your dream customer or creating an ICA really helps you get super specific in your marketing because you know who you're talking to. To keep this simple, think of it like this. Your target market is your whole garden. Your target audience is one flower bed within your garden. Your ideal customer is your favorite flower. Now that we know what those concepts are and how they fit together, how do you actually identify and find your ideal customer? If you've been in business for a while, you can think about who has already purchased from you. If you sell at markets or in-person events, you have the huge benefit of getting to meet and interact with these people face-to-face, which gives you lots of information. Scan your memories of your customers and pull together some details on how you would describe them. Think specifics like age range, gender identity, fashion style, and so on. Then think about things like, were they shopping with friends, family, or alone? Did they buy your products for themselves or as a gift? And what did you hear them say and what were they talking about while they were shopping? It's helpful if you pay attention to what they say about your products while they're shopping. You're probably going to have a variety of customers, but what we're looking for is areas where there are similarities and areas where it overlaps for the sake of narrowing our marketing focus. For example, let's say you make small quilts, and they're intended to be passed down as future heirlooms. Your ideal customer is grandmothers who want a lasting, meaningful gift for their new grandchild. They're comfortable spending the amount of money you charge, and they don't want to make the quilt themselves. They see the value in it, and they appreciate the level of care and quality that you put into making each one. Now, if most of your selling happens online on your website or Etsy or another platform, and you don't get to see your customers in person, that does make this more abstract and can take a bit more guesswork, but we'll use as much concrete information as we can to start. And then as you learn more and more about each person, you can add that information to what you've already got. To start, take a look at your shop's analytics for details like geographic location, order size to see how much people are spending at a time. You may have repeat buyers, which is great and wonderful to know. And you can identify patterns in customer behavior. When are they shopping? From where are they shopping? Are they going to certain pages of your website and dropping off? All of this is helpful. If you're on a platform where customers can leave a review, like Etsy, for example, pay attention to what they're saying about your products and the transaction. Did they love the packaging? Was the quick shipping the thing that really made them happy? Make note of what words they're using to describe your products and the transaction so you can use those in your marketing. If there is a way to click on the customer's name, like on Etsy, you can click on their name and see a profile that gives more information about them. I would recommend doing that. You can see what other products they've favorited and get a much better idea of their style. If you're on social media, take a look at who's commenting on your posts. If you see the same person routinely, check out their profile. Get a feel for them based on what they're posting to their feed and what they're sharing in their stories. And be sure to respond and engage with the people who are commenting on your posts. That's the great way to build community and to make connections with the people who are taking the time to comment on what you're posting. Another great tip, and this one is especially good for those of you who don't have a lot of customers or maybe don't have any customers yet. On social media, identify 3 other makers or brands that are similar to you. Look through their posts, check the comments, see who's engaging with their posts. What are these people saying? Click through and check out their profile. What are they about? What do they like? What is their style? This will help you understand where your people are hanging out online. You can also look at what posts are performing well for these other brands, and that'll give you a lot of information about what resonates with their customers, which is helpful if you feel that your customers or your future customers would be the same people. And I'm not saying to copy anything anyone is doing. I'm just saying look at who is hanging out on their feed. If those feel like your people, then that'll give you a lot of information that you can use in your own marketing. This next part is for everyone, so listen carefully. People buy based on emotions, how things make them feel. So think about why your work matters to someone. How does it make them feel? Why do they want it? If you make jewelry, maybe when they wear it, it feels like they're wearing this powerful talisman that makes them feel strong. Maybe that makes them feel pretty or cool because they're following the latest trend. Maybe it reminds them of something from their childhood and has this sweet nostalgia associated with it. Maybe they feel good about buying a sustainable item that's made from recycled materials. Those are just some examples, but you can use those to get the ball rolling on why they're buying your products. What does your product make them feel? And what do they want to feel? Think about your ideal customer's values. What are their hobbies? What is their aesthetic? And what is important to them? What causes are important to them? Here's an example. Maybe your customer is at the stage of her life where her identity as a mother is at the forefront. She likes a minimal, natural aesthetic. Think lots of beige and naturally dyed fabrics. And she wants to buy quality, non-toxic items for her children and for her home. She uses all natural cleaning products. She doesn't want clutter, and she prefers to have fewer high-quality possessions that are long-lasting. Family is very important to her. She spends time teaching her children to garden and to read. They eat organic produce, some of which they've grown themselves. They do a lot of cooking at home as a family. They shop at farmers markets and local grocery co-ops. She doesn't get a lot of time to herself, but when she does, she likes to read and take relaxing baths. That example paints a pretty clear picture of what this person values, what is important to her, and what she would likely be spending her money on. You can use those concepts to help shape your marketing because you know and understand what really drives her decision-making process in terms of her buying. Okay, so you've identified your ideal customer and you have an idea of where to find them. Now, what are the best ways to start connecting? Let's first talk about online. You can use an email list. If you don't have one, I highly recommend starting an email list. Use that to speak directly to past and potential customers. You can build connection by emailing them regularly, maybe once a week. Tell them personal stories, ask questions, and encourage them to respond, and really build a rapport with them. You can also email past customers directly, like individually, and thank them for their purchase and ask them why they chose the piece that they chose. That'll give you a lot of information about what it is about it that really drew them in and what made them make that decision. And use words and phrases that your customers use to describe your products on your website, on your product pages, in your emails, and in captions of things that you post. This helps it feel like more of a conversation between you and less of a sales pitch. Your customer will feel seen and understood, and they'll feel more comfortable because you're using language that is what they use. On social media, here are some tips that you can use. 1, share behind-the-scenes content that resonates with your audience's values. People love a good behind-the-scenes. And maybe their values are things like slow living, sustainability, uniqueness, like one-of-a-kind items, or non-toxic children's products or non-toxic cleaning products. You can tailor what you're sharing to really speak to what your audience is interested in and what their core values are. Number 2, use polls or stories to ask your audience questions and to get feedback. For example, you could post to your Instagram stories a question like, what do you love most when buying handmade jewelry? And then give them the option like a poll where there are 3 or 4 answers. It could be meaning, materials, design, and then they choose one, and that information is helpful to you because you will then know, is it the quality of the materials that really drives them to purchase? Is it the way something looks? Is it the meaning behind it? What is it that is their favorite part? The third thing is a great community builder because everybody likes to be a part of something. You can feature customer photos, feature their stories, share their reviews on your social media or even in your newsletter or on your website to help reinforce this community that you're building. And be sure to use hashtags and keywords that your customer is searching for. If you're not sure, maybe look at some of their pages to see what hashtags they're using. Look at other brands that are similar to see what hashtags they're using, especially on their posts that are doing well and really resonating with their audience. And the last thing for social media, use your content to speak directly to your ideal customer. You want to give them the feeling that they are seen and that they're in the right place. An example of that could be posting something like, "This is for you if you," and fill in the blank. "This is for you if you love non-toxic living. This is for you if you are a dainty jewelry girly." Anything that is in their words that makes them feel like this page gets me, this brand is exactly what I want, this is the place for me. Here are some tips if you're selling in person at craft markets, pop-ups, or other events. First, you really want to be sure to choose markets that align with your ideal customers' interests. That might be markets that are strictly handmade. Maybe there's some vintage there. Maybe they're themed markets, like they're witchy or goth or holiday themed, or maybe it's a fine art fair. But you want to be in the places where your ideal customer is shopping, where the style aligns with where they want to be. Once you're there and you're in your booth, pay close attention to who comes into your booth, who's shopping, what they're looking at, what they're buying. Take notes, maybe mental notes on their age ranges, their style, their energy, and really listen to what they're saying. I love being able to see how people are interacting with my jewelry. Which pieces get touched the most? Which pieces get tried on the most? Are people having a hard time operating certain clasps? What are they saying to their friends when they're trying things on or looking at things? And what are their friends saying back to them? All of that gives me so much information that then I can take and either improve my products or improve my display or improve my marketing. Especially if you're new and you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of customers, doing some in-person markets can give you a lot of information. But again, you want to make sure you're in the right place, because if you're not in a market where your ideal customer is shopping, you're probably not going to get the feedback that's actually going to help you. You might have people who aren't as interested or might not be buying what you're making. And so if they're not the right people, the feedback that you're going to get from them is not going to be as valuable as it would be from the people who you consider your ideal customers. So keep that in mind and make sure that you're choosing your markets wisely. But if you are just starting out, I highly recommend doing some in-person events just so you can interact with people and get a better feel for who's drawn to your work. When you're at the market, engage in friendly and authentic conversation with everybody. It'll help you understand what they're looking for, why they're there, why they're drawn to your work, why they came in your booth. Very important, encourage them to sign up for your email list and follow you on social media, because as soon as they leave your booth, they may very well be walking out of your life forever. You may never see or hear from them again, and you've lost the opportunity to further this relationship with a person who is excited about what you're doing. So make sure you find a way to get people's information. If they're willing to share it with you, get them on your email list, give them an incentive for signing up, or get them to follow you on your social, just so you have a way to contact them in the future and to continue the relationship and continue the conversation that you were having in person. I have a few quick tips for marketing to your ideal audience. I've mentioned this a couple times already. You want to speak their language. Use the phrases that they're using. That way they feel already connected to your work and to you and what you're saying. It makes sense to them. This I haven't mentioned, but will be really helpful. If you can, show your work in a real-life context, like styled photos that help the customer project and really see themselves with your product. And when you're doing that, this is where it's really important to understand the aesthetic of your ideal customer, because let's say your ideal customer is really into cottagecore and shabby chic and, lots of light whites and florals and kind of romantic vibes. You're not going to want to style your photo with all black. That might not resonate with the people that you're trying to speak to. Coming into that with a lot of intention and a lot of understanding about what aesthetic will most appeal to your ideal customer is going to really benefit you the most in that scenario. So style your photos in the way that they can see themselves in it, or it's the life that they want to have, or it's the life that they already have that they love. And don't be afraid to really niche down. You can get super specific on that one ideal customer, your ICA, your favorite flower. If you're thinking specifically of one person, you're going to be a lot more targeted in your messaging than if you're thinking of a group of people. And the right people will see you when you stop trying to be visible to everyone. Here are some action steps that you can take this week to start making progress on your marketing. Number 1, identify your ideal customer if you haven't already, or create an ideal customer avatar, an ICA, if you want to do it that way. You don't have to create an ICA, but I think a lot of people find it really helpful because it is so specific. If you want a quick and easy guide to help you with this, head over to heybeautifulcreative.com/ICA to get a free worksheet. I've created a handy download for you to make this easy and straightforward. Number 2, you can rewrite your Instagram bio or write a new product description with your ideal customer in mind. Number 3, pick one place, either online or in person, that you can show up more intentionally this week and start making more meaningful connections with your customers. Maybe it's Instagram, maybe you're doing an in-person market. How are you going to show up and really engage with your ideal customer? Those are your 3 action steps for this week. Even if you just pick one and do one, right? That'll be great progress. Thank you so much for listening. I would really love to hear from you on Instagram. I'm at heybeautifulcreative. Send me a DM and let me know what was your favorite takeaway from this episode. That will help me tailor future episodes just for you. And be sure to come back next week because we're going to be talking about crafting your brand and how to stand out as an artist or maker. You won't want to miss it. If you're not already subscribed or you're not following the show, you can do that. And until then, keep making your work and putting it out into the world, beautiful creative. See you next week. If you enjoyed this episode or found it helpful, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would write a review, share it on your socials, or forward it to a friend. Be sure to subscribe or follow the show wherever you listen to your podcast so you don't miss out on upcoming episodes. And check out heybeautifulcreative.com for more resources designed to help you take your creative dreams and turn them into your reality. See you next week.